There are many things to dislike Trump for. There's a small handful of things, I guess, to like him for. But I think his worst idea is what he wants to do regarding tariffs. 25% tariffs on anything coming from Mexico or Canada, and an additional 10% tariff on anything coming from China. There are more planned tariffs affecting goods from other countries, but just these tariffs I mentioned by themselves are going to have a crippling effect on the costs of many goods. Add to that what will happen when we deport so many people, which will no longer be allowing slave labor to do things like pick our vegetables. And I get it, we should never have allowed for slave labor to begin with. But we have to be realistic. Eliminating that slave labor, it's not true slave labor, they're getting some money, but it's not much. And eliminating that and making it so people have to be paid a living wage of some sort is going to significantly increase the costs of those goods. There's no getting around that. So, so much for making things more affordable. And that was originally one of the main arguments people gave for voting for Trump. The cost of eggs argument, which is more than just about the cost of eggs, it's about the cost of many things. But, the eggs one is just the meme. What will many of you say about Trump once the cost of so many things goes up significantly? Will you simply say that it's worth going through a bad period to get to a better period? And perhaps you're right about that sort of thing. We may need to rip off the nasty, dirty bandage and scrub and disinfect the festering wound in order for it to heal. But do tariffs and mass deportations really do all that? The United States has tried the tariff route in the past, like with the Smoot-Hawley Act in 1930, and it failed. It significantly decreased trade with other countries, like up to 2/3, and it originally was in the dustbin of history. But for some reason, Trump wants to try it again. This doesn't help everyday Americans. This doesn't help the middle class. This doesn't help poor people. It only hurts us. And let us not forget, when we put tariffs on other countries, they can retaliate and put tariffs against our goods as well. It's just a mess. Sure, it may entice some companies to make their products here in the United States, but at what cost, particularly in the meantime? It will take years for some companies to switch their manufacturing over to America, so it just seems that we're going to have to deal with really high prices in the meantime. That sounds like a terrible plan for anyone who isn't rich. And so much of this is to avoid raising taxes on the rich. It's just sad.